Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here, and today we're checking out the weekly adventures. So we have a 1.5, a 2.5, and a 4-star adventure. For the 1.5 against Jinx, the special modifier is round and kill all damaged units. So for this, you may want to go with some builds that have very weak units, so if they were very damaged, they'd die anyways. I'm thinking of someone like Kindred, where a lot of your units have 1 health, so if they take any damage, they're already dead, so this wouldn't really apply to you. Also with Kindred, you're fine with a lot of your units dying, because you're able to deal then a Nexus damage with them dying, or have other special benefits. So this is one that would be pretty decent for that. Or you might want to go with a champion that has a lot of removal or poke damage, so someone like Nami, Misfortune, or maybe Annie or Jin, where you could damage enemy units and then let this go off and just actually kill the enemy units. That could also be a very helpful benefit. Also, remember Jinx, every time you play a card, you're dealing 1 damage to an enemy unit. That would be another great benefit of this power. This is just a 1.5 star adventure though, so it'd be pretty easy regardless of who you do it with. Then we have a 2.5 against Viego. So pressing the leads, when any player gains the attack token, they draw 1. And then rock too hard, round start, deal 1 to all the players' units. So a couple champions immediately stand out to me. First off is Tahm Kench. This would be absolutely amazing for him. With Tahm Kench, anytime one of his units takes damage, they are granted 2 health and 2 power. So this would let you just scale up out of control and could be absolutely amazing. Also, for whatever champion you're using, you might want to be running the Berserker's Buckle. That is pretty much the same thing as Tahm Kench's star powers of when your unit takes damage, they're granted 2 health and 2 power. So this could be a lot of fun with that. And then pressing the leads. When any player gains the attack token, they draw 1. This would be great for Bard or Teemo. With Teemo, the enemy is going to be getting 1 extra draw when they get the attack token. So just more chances for them to draw those puff cap and in the game. And then for Bard, having more draw on your own side to make sure you gain all those chimes would also work out quite well. Definitely recommend using Tahm Kench. I think he'll be absolutely amazing with this. And if you're not using one of the champions I've mentioned, maybe just consider throwing on the Berserker's Buckle and you should have a great time. Alright, for the 4-star adventure, we have Cognitive Overload. Don't think we've ever seen this before. Round end, if the player has more than 4 cards in hand, they discard cards at random until they have 4 in hand. Then we have Noxian Might. We've seen this many times now. Each round, the first time foe summons the unit, granted 4 power and overwhelm. Then there's just the vicious enemy that this always has. I think Jinx would be decent for the Cognitive Overload. You're already benefiting from discarding cards, so it discarding cards for you wouldn't be too bad, and then it would just bring you closer to your level up of discarding your entire hand. So Jinx could work decent with this. Or just going for some of those early game champions where you have a lot of cheap cards, so you're able to play a lot of cards each round, and you normally aren't worried about running out, or you're normally not worried about having too many cards in your hand. So this wouldn't be bad. You probably want to avoid some slower champions that have a lot more expensive cards like Ornn or Nasus. Quite often you have a lot of cards in your hand and you're kind of waiting to play them. This could really screw you over, so definitely try to avoid that. For the Noxian Might, it'd be pretty good to have a unit with on-demand CC. So someone like Ashe or Yasuo is actually a little bit less important. Their star powers aren't really going to help you because they are going to CC, Frostbite, or stun the strongest unit at round start. But this goes off the first time they summon a unit. So your star powers aren't really going to help you counter this. Now they still do have other Frostbites and other stuns that could deal with this. But really going with someone like Annie, where you get to choose when you play your stun, and since they have to play the unit, you'll always have the opportunity to then play your stun in response. Annie will probably be like the perfect counter to this. Even if you don't have the stun, Annie has a lot of removal. And then Annie also has a lot of cheap cards, so normally the Cognitive Overload probably wouldn't affect you that much. Or, as usual, you could just pick whatever S tier champion you have upgraded that's your favorite, so Jax, Diana, LeBlanc, any of those, and there's other S tier champions as well, and they'll just be able to blast through this. That would be, I think, what most people do. They just pick a very easy champion or a champion they're very strong with and just use that to blast the weekly adventures. Whatever you choose though, feel free to comment down below, let me and other players know. If you found or thought of some awesome combination that I didn't mention here, definitely comment down below, let other players know. There's normally some amazing champion I just didn't think about. Actually, there's one that I always forget to mention. For the Mercy Killings round end kill all damaged unit, another champion that has great damage would be Jack. So with him, when you refill your spell mana, you deal 1 damage to all enemy units. That'd be another great way to benefit from the Mercy Killing, killing everyone. I feel like I always forget about his power when I'm doing these weeklies, and people always remind me like, hey, Jack would be great for this. I'm like, you're 100% right. Sorry, I forgot. But if there's any other combinations that you think would be great that I forgot, definitely comment down below. Love to get you guys' feedback. Pretty interesting week, a lot of fun powers, much better than last week where it was pretty standard and boring in my opinion. But comment down below what you think of these weeklies, if you like them, if you don't like some of these powers. Always great to hear from you guys, and I hope you all have a great day and a great week.